Want to see something cool in Power BI? I'm going to show you how you can go from raw data to data visualization in just a few minutes. We were sent a folder that contains multiple tables with a request to create a visual that shows total revenue, product categories, and age groups, and it also needs to allow for ad hoc exploration and root cause analysis. You know what? This sounds like a perfect job for a decomposition tree. So up first, we're going to connect to these different data sets and really check out what we're working with. So from within Power BI, we want to click on Get Data, and then we're going to click Text and CSV files, and this is going to bring us straight into our file system, and this is going to open up the folder that contains all of the data sources that we were sent. Now, quickly looking at the file names and the sizes, it looks like we're working with 4 lookup tables here and 1 data table. So we'll start with age groups here and click open. All right, so we get a quick preview of the age groups table. You see we have an age group key. This is going to function most likely as our primary key. And then we have our different age groups here. And from the bottom, we have a couple of options. We can either load this into the data model directly, or we can click transform data and open up this data set in the Power Query editor. Now, as a best practice, it's great to open up these data sources in the Power Query editor, so you can see exactly what you're working with and make sure all of the data types get set correctly. Now from here, the process for adding in the remaining data sets is pretty much the same. We're going to click Add New Source, Text CSV file, and again, this is going to open up our file system here, where now we can connect to our product subcategories data set. We'll add this into the query editor here. Again, we get a quick preview, and then instead of those load and transform options, it's just OK now, right? Because we're already in the query editor. So we'll click OK, and we'll repeat this process for the other couple of files here. Got products. And then lastly, we'll come up here and add in our sales table. And like we had talked about, this is going to be our bigger data table here. We've got some date columns, invoice IDs. We've got all of the foreign keys for our lookup tables and a quantity sold column. Sweet. So we've got all of these loaded. Now from here, if we come up and click Close and Apply, this is going to apply any sort of changes that we may have made to these queries and then load it into the data model. All right, our data's been loaded. We're going to head over to our data model view, and we'll zoom out a little bit here so we can see these tables. All right, so we've got our age group, product subcategories, products, regions, got our sales table here. So here we're going to resize things a little bit, and we'll start making some of these connections. All right, so age group, we're going to do age group key to our age group key. For region, it's our sales territory key to our region key. So we get these one-to-many relationships. From product, we're going to connect our product key to product key. And then here, our product subcategory table, this is going to be the subcategory key to our subcategory key. All right, we're almost there. So now that we've got our data model all wired up, we're going to head back to the report view, and we're going to create a measure that we can use in our visualization called total revenue, right? And for this measure, we're going to call this total revenue. And we're going to use SumX here, and the table is going to be sales, and we want to sum the quantity sold column from the sales table and multiply that by a related column from the products table, unit price, right? So for every instance of quantity sold in the sales table, we want to multiply that by the related unit price is basically what this total revenue measure is saying here, right? We're going to format this as currency. We'll adjust the decimal to 0 decimal places. Now, with our measure added here, it's time to add in our decomposition tree visual. And it's located right here. We can add this to the canvas, expand this out a little bit. And what we want to do is we want to add this total revenue measure to our analyze field. This is the metric that we want to analyze. And you can see that it's already populated within our visual. Now from here, we want to explain total revenue by a few different fields. So from here, we're going to add in country and product category, and then age group. And so with all of these different fields added, we can come over here, click the plus button, and now we can say, hey, you know what? I want to look at my product categories by country, and then I want to look at those countries by age group. So the great thing about this is that you can now explore this. You can select a different product, like if we wanted to look at accessories here, and then see how that changes by country and age group. You could also delete these and say you wanted to look at your country first, and then just look at country by product group, right? So you could go the opposite direction to see the composition this way. So again, this is a great way that you can go from raw data to an exploratory analysis in just a few minutes.